Hey friends, welcome to One Little Coder. In this video, we are going to see how to use VS Code, Visual Studio Code from Microsoft for Jupyter Notebook. So if you are not familiar, the Jupyter Notebook has been supported by VS Code so that you can create a new notebook or you can open an existing notebook. You can do everything that you want to do it in a browser, but inside your VS Code. VS Code is becoming one of the most popular IDEs, editors for a lot of developers. So this support is really appreciated because if you are actually working in a production code which is usually a .py file and you want to prototype it using Jupyter Notebook, you don't have to switch between your browser and your editor. You can do everything inside. So the first important thing is the interpreter that you're using. So whatever interpreter that you're using, you have to make sure that that given interpreter has VS Code, Jupyter Notebook installed. So you can check it by simply first, okay, let me enable the developer. If you press Command Shift and P, you would get this quick menu where you can actually go ahead and create a new blank Jupyter Notebook. There are other options that you can try also. What other options that you have for notebook? If you type notebook, you would see all these options, and you can also learn the shortcuts, how to change a cell from code to markdown, how to change a cell from markdown to code, or you want to add a new cell above, add a new cell below. So you can do all those things. But to start with, you have to create a new blank Jupyter Notebook. When you create this thing, please make sure that you have got your Jupyter server connected. So this makes sure that you have an active kernel, and then your Jupyter this interface has connected with the Jupyter server actually. If this does not happen, so you have to then make sure you have to probably open your terminal, and then you have to install Jupyter, pip3 install Jupyter. So if that doesn't happen, then you have to open your terminal and then do pip3 Jupyter. Okay. But right now that is not required, and this is how you create an empty new Jupyter Notebook using VS Code. So there is nothing else required. If you are using the latest version of Jupyter Notebook, and if you have got latest version of VS Code, and you have got Python installed, so this will be available for you by default. So given that, so how can you create a cell? So this this first cell comes by default. So let's say you want to create a new cell. You can go ahead and press this thing, that will give you a new cell, or you can escape. You can press escape. So this cell is now in an edit mode. This is an edit mode. If you escape, you can see the change of this color. So now this is in a command mode. So when you have this cell in a command mode, you can press A to enter a new cell above it. You can press B to enter a new cell. Sorry, you have to go to the command mode. B to create a new cell below it. So this keyboard shortcut is as synonymous with your Jupyter Notebook that you use on your browser. So A for a new cell above the current cell, B for a new cell below the current cell. So now let us say that maybe this cell you don't want it to be a code, but you want it to be a markdown. So you can go ahead and click this button. So this will convert this cell from code to markdown. Let's say this is a demo. So you can see that this is a demo. Now maybe you don't want this to be a markdown, you want it to be code, but you don't want to click this and change. But what you want to do is you want to use a shortcut. The shortcut for that is you have to click Y. So when you click Y, oh, it's already a code. When you click Y, it becomes a code. When you click M, it becomes a markdown. Okay. Let's click this, and then let's go ahead and say, okay, I don't want it to be a markdown, I want it to be a code. So when you want it to be a markdown, you can click M, and Y, it changes. So M and Y for you to change it to markdown and code. So now that we are quite familiar with shortcuts, let's disable the screen cast mode because it's such. Okay, so now when you have that thing, you can actually check what other options you can use for a given notebook. So these are all the options that you can do with the notebook. You can open notebook editor, you can import a Jupyter Notebook, you can delete all the cells. So that is all the meta information that you have. So let's go ahead and then try to create a simple Python command that we can execute. So print and say, okay, this is a command, or let's say this is OneLittleCoder, and you want it 10 times. Okay, so it has printed 10 times. So the same way your simple Jupyter notebook works, it also works, which means you have an implicit print. You don't need to explicitly print it, you have an implicit print. So we just saw that you can convert it to markdown. You can use it as a keyboard shortcut, or you can click this button and you can write your Python code. So the next important thing is, a lot of people actually use Jupyter notebook not just for a normal Python scripting, but actually for data science. And when you have to do data science, a lot of times there are two things that you primarily deal with. One is data, the second one is visualization. So let's go ahead and try to create a simple visualization using numpy import matplotlib.pyplot as plt, and let's say x is equal to np.line space 1 comma 100 comma 10. Np is not defined. Okay, as np, and no attribute. Okay, I'll do arrange, and y is equal to np.sign of x, and plt.plot of x comma y. So you get a plot. I was trying to make a sign plot. So the main thing that you have to understand here is this Jupyter notebook environment within your VS Code also has two things. One is your variable editor explorer, variable explorer. So here you can actually see what are all variables that you have in your current Jupyter session, Python session. So all these variables are listed. You can click this button for that data viewer to open. So you can filter rows here, you can do any sort of thing that you want here. So all those things are available. So the next thing is you can also clear all these variables, which we'll see in a while. And the next thing is you also have a plot viewer, so you can actually see the plot with all this panning and zooming, all those things, and that is your plot viewer. So just now we saw how to create a cell, a little bit of keyboard shortcuts, and we also saw that you have a variable explorer, and you also have a plot viewer where you can see your plot. So the next thing is, what if you want to clear all these things? What if you want to close all these things and have a new thing? So the first thing is, if you want variable explorer, you have to just go here, but right now the variables are still there, so it's not been cleared. So what you can do in this case is, first, if you want to just clear your output, so let's say you have got print x here, and if you want to just clear your output, you can click this and it has cleared your output. You can see that the output is cleared. So simply to clear the output of all the cells, you can click this. But maybe you want to restart your kernel, maybe you don't want these things. So if you want to restart your kernel, you can click this and it will restart the entire kernel. So it's going to ask me, do you want to restart it? I'm saying okay, yeah, restart it. So then it restarts the entire kernel. So far you understood how to create a new notebook, how to execute a notebook. So there are few more nuances there. So as you can see, this is all when you have a cell and then you want to execute only from the below cell, you can do this thing. If you want to execute above, you can do this thing. If you want to stop an execution, you can do this. If you want to create a new cell, you can use this thing. And if you want to save or export, if you want to save, you can simply use this. Or if you want to export it, then you need nbconvert installed, then you can export it as a .py script. So for this Jupyter notebook extension or this Jupyter notebook feature within VS Code is very handy, and it doesn't require much of dependencies. You just need to have Jupyter notebook installed, pip3 install Jupyter notebook, the Python interpreter that you are using within your VS Code, or please activate your virtual environment, that is much more handier for you, and then you can start creating all these things. So you can have markdown to code, code to markdown, all these keyboard shortcuts that you use with your Jupyter notebook works exactly like that. You can write a normal Python script. You have also a variable, let me run this. You also have a variable explorer you also have a variable explorer that you can explore, and you also have a plot explorer. Let's run this plot explorer, and then you can explore the plot, and it also supports interactive visualization, so which means you can make a plotly plot or plotly express or bokeh, and then you can also explore that thing. So this Jupyter notebook facility within VS Code is very handy, especially if you are someone who likes to prototype using Jupyter notebook and also write production level code using your .py Python script. So for more details, I'll link this particular link within the description. This is quite handy for you to see what other features you have got, and this is going to tell you how to do the same thing that we just saw in the video, simply using as a blog post. So I hope this video was helpful, and this is very useful if you are a heavy or a pro Jupyter notebook user, because you don't have to use your browser or open your browser anymore. It's simply available in your the favorite IDE, and you can, oh yeah, I forgot to mention that you can also play with your, you can change with the theme. So the entire facility of your Jupyter notebook comes here. Entire facility of your VS Code is applicable for this particular case, and also you get the beauty of Jupyter notebook to write beautiful Python code for your data science purpose. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section, and if you have any feedback also, please let me know. And thank you so much for listening. See you in the next video.